Morgan yesterday lost in the quarterfinals to the Grantsville Cowboys, the 4-5 game. And yesterday, Canyon View lost to the Manti Templars in the 1-8 game. So this is the consolation matchup here at the America First Event Center. Greg Sterner and Dustin Shakespeare. And Dustin, two teams that played pretty well yesterday. I know they took the loss, and they're here playing in the consolation bracket, but two athletic, good basketball teams.
Yeah, a lot of talent on both ends. Weren't able to put enough pieces together to get the win, but this should be a really fun game. Got a lot of size on both sides.
Yeah,
a lot of scoring potential on both sides, and so should be really a fun ball game.
We're going to have the starters announced. We'll watch for those here. But what do you think both of these teams, what is the best thing both of these teams do well, Dustin, that helps them win ball games?
Morgan, if they could get out in transition and get their shots from far to fall early, that's really a lot of, when I've seen them be successful, they're able to get those transition threes to fall for them. On the Canyon View side, it's staying when they get their action moving together, and their bigs are able to get some catches, and their guards are just so good to where they're able to get space and finish as well. So as you watch them move in and out, it's how they work that aspect together of the bigs understanding how to get stuff, a lot of kickback out stuff to the smalls.
Good inside-out game, sure. Yeah, you bet. All right, well, they're going to announce the Canyon View starters first. They're the designated road team, if you will, because they're the 8 seed, Dustin. But they're about 2 miles from their home arena here at the America First Event Center at SUU. Not as big of a crowd today, for Canyon View as they had yesterday, obviously, in that quarterfinal matchup. More kids, I think, stayed in school today. They'll probably be here tomorrow if they're able to win. But a good band here for the Canyon View, so kind of a fun little thing they've got. Were you able to get starters down here, Dustin? Or?
For the Canyon View group?
Yeah.
We can make that work. So we've got... I got to push the right button. Sorry about that. I thought I had it up. There we go.
I think I've got them. Let me hit those. You watch the Morgan side and get those for us.
Thank you.
So, yeah, for the Canyon View Falcons, coming in 15-9 on the year. Number 3, Jace Whitaker. Number 5, Andrew Barnes. Number 13, Miles Topham. Miles had a good game yesterday against the Templars down low on the blocks. Trey Jacobson, another kid that had a good game yesterday against Manti. And then Chad Hartman had a really good first half, led the team in scoring with 15 points. Wasn't able to score in the second half, but really did a great job in the first half for the Falcons. Who's starting for the Trojans?
Starting for the Trojans, you got number 1, Eli Bailey. You got number 5, Aiden Harris. Number 11, Gavin Turner. Number 15, Colton Acey. And the big man inside, number 33, Josh Criddle.
Criddle, excellent football player as well. I think he had a couple of touchdowns in that state championship game from his tight end position. Tight end at that kind of size. First shot is no good by the Trojans, and Canyon View will come the other way. Morgan likes to get the ball down at the hoop. They like to get on the blocks. They do a lot of work from there. Canyon View does as well, but they do take a lot of outside shots as well. Ball, speaking of the block, on the left block that time, Miles Topham's shot is no good, affected by the Morgan defender, and Morgan comes the other way with it.
Morgan starting in there 1-2-2. We didn't see that out of them yesterday. Something that they can do is they can get out and do a lot of three-quarter 1-2-2 pressing. See if they use that to their advantage in this game.
Gavin Turner, little hesitation dribble, now gets it in the high post to Josh Criddle. He gets it out to Aiden Harris pretty quick there. Now a three-pointer's going to go up for the Trojans. That's short, no good. That was Eli Bailey that took that one. Canyon View coming the other way now.
They're going to work with a high post. So a 2-1-2 against this. Now they slough down in, and that's something Morgan does a great job with the point of their 1-2-2, is they understand how to drop in and really turn it into a 2-1-2 when needed.
Kind of a bad pass into the corner there. You would have had Andrew Barnes maybe looking at a corner three, but the pass was at his ankles, so he collects it, and now ball goes around. Jace Whitaker gets it. Little pump fake, goes up with it. That's no good. Good defense there down low by the Trojans. 1 second on the shot clock for Canyon View inbounding on the baseline.
Gonna have a quick touch. He's got plenty of time for a catch and shoot, but that's what you can do against Morgan, they like a 2-3 out of baseline, out of bounds.
Quick inbound pass and good defense, good closeout there by Morgan, knowing Aiden Harris, knowing that Canyon View has to put that shot up immediately, closed down on it, had a little pump fake there by Andrew Barnes and not able to get it off quick enough. So turns
had
ball over to
Andrew
Morgan.
shot that, Harris was going to block it.
Yep.
He was coming like he was blocking a field goal.
That's right. So Eli Bailey now into the corner. That's Colton Acey. Acey picks up his dribble, back to Bailey at the free throw line area. He's going to back down. Little hook shot is no good. And rebound down low by Trey Jacobson for the Falcons.
Yesterday we saw him go to Josh Criddle early. This time it's Bailey. Morgan's getting a lot of touches too.
Topham gets it out to Hartman. Hartman back. Jacobson working the ball around. Andrew Barnes. Now Hartman thought about a three-pointer. Now he's going to take a tough two-pointer on the left side. That's no good, but good offensive rebound by Topham. Kicks it back out. Hard pass down to Jacobson. Jacobson for the Falcons. His shot is no good. Still a bucket on both of these, or a lid on both of these buckets for both teams.
They are. It's sealed off. Canview using that 2-on-2, working against this zone, trying to move it around. They've got some looks, but just not able to get them connect. That's a really good look, though.
Yeah, Hartman from the corner three-pointer. He takes the lid off the basket. First points of the game, three-pointer for Chad Hartman.
It's hard to keep a lid on for him. He is such a good scorer. That time you can see he was going to have plenty of space as they were able to get the kick down to him and have that zone sealed inside.
3 3-pointers for him yesterday in the first half. Gavin Turner will drive for the Trojans. He's fouled. He's going to step to the free throw line for the first two of the day for the Morgan Trojans.
In their advancement in that playoff game against ALA, Hartman had 7 for 11 threes.
Yeah.
He can fill it up if you give him space.
Yeah, yep. First one for Turner, short, no good. One more for the senior. Another one of those excellent Morgan football players, Gavin Turner. He was an all-state running back. Into the game for the Trojans is Joe Waite. He gave some good minutes yesterday as well.
Got a nice touch on the ball. See what that does is Bailey having a tough time with that lid. Coach is spending a little time with him, kind of showing him how he wants to move against the defense. Now they extend up into that three-quarter. It's a fun trap to watch that Morgan runs.
Turner hit 1 of 2, so 3-1 your score. Canyon View in the lead over the Morgan Trojans. Andrew Barnes, now to Topham, back to Barnes. Hartman gets it to Trey Jacobson. Barnes thought about a deep three-pointer. Now he's going to get it down to Topham. Good little footwork down there, and Topham's able to get that one up over Criddle into the bucket for 2.
They worked that ball around till they could dump it down the post. Good patience by Canyon View to get him that touch.
Turner hands off to Aiden Harris. Aiden Harris will drive, get down on the left block, shot up no good. Criddle comes down with the rebound. He's going to put up a little fall away 3 or 4 footer and gets it to drop.
He really finishes nice around the basket. Talk about that athleticism and strength that he has.
Some fancy dribbling there by Andrew Barnes, and then the ball kind of gets tipped now into the corner. Three-pointer up by Jace Whitaker that's no good, and Morgan with the rebound.
You see that ball handling of Andrew Barnes.
Three-pointer up for the Trojans and down. Number 15, Colton Acey, his first points of the game. 6-5, Morgan with the lead.
That's that transition 3 that I was talking about in the pregame. When Morgan can hit those, they are hard to defend.
Ball around the perimeter, now into the corner. Whitaker back to Barnes. Now two-man game with Whitaker. Or excuse me, Trey Jacobson. Ball gets down to Whitaker. Passes out of the post. A couple of passes in and around the post. Now a little runner is up and down by Andrew Barnes. Beautiful little Jeff Hornacek looking shot there by Barnes.
Pulled that zone down to the baseline, and so Barnes was able to get that catch on the wing and go to work.
Morgan with the ball now. Acey. He'll rise for a two-pointer and knock it down. 5 points for Colton Acey.
He used the dribble to run him off of 2 screens. Jacobson goes deep under the second screen, and that created that space.
Canyon View Hartman with the ball now. Left side. Picks up his dribble. And gets it to Barnes. Andrew Barnes. Still that 2-1-2? Is that what?
1-2-2, but
1-2-2,
they do a great job of morphing it down into a 2-1-2 whenever there's not somebody on the top. It's a really fun moving zone.
Criddle was able to get a steal for the Trojans, and then that pass goes off of his ankles, out of bounds. Canyon View ball.
Yeah, it's hard to get those passes to the bigs if they're going to be below the knee. Just so hard to catch. They're fighting off their defenders, and to get that extra drop down is hard to do.
Well, and if watching that replay there, you could see Criddle. I think he kind of thought AC was going to collect that one, but it just kind of bounced off of Criddle and out of bounds. So 2:21 left here in the first period. Canyon View with a 1-point lead, 9-6.
Both teams rotating a lot of guys in here. Canyon View.
I don't think that's right. That scoreboard isn't right unless I've missed some.
It's probably wrong.
Yeah,
They've
I've got
had some
7
different challenges with it over the weekend here. So I think you're probably right. Even a 2-1-2 against the trap.
Yeah, I think it's 8-7, but whatever. Okay, we'll see if they get it fixed. Ludlow with the jumper on the right side, and that's no good. But he's fouled. He's going to step to the free throw line.
He comes in and he brings a lot of scoring, as he'll just like he did. He came in the game and got a quick early shot off the lefty.
Yeah, a lot of athleticism. First one is good for Trenton Ludlow. He's got one more, sophomore. Second one good as well. Good looking stroke there. So they've got us at 11-6 on the scoreboard. I think Morgan's at 8, but we'll see what they call. Drive there by Derek Tilby. Yeah, that's a kid you talked about a lot yesterday in that game we did together. Dustin, you liked his game. He's a good three-point shooter.
I do.
Off the bench.
He really can score in so many ways, and then he loves defense. He gets in and gets going hard and fast.
Ball works around trying to break this zone of the Trojans. Hartman's going to rise for a three-pointer. That's off the back iron, no good. Ball tipped around, taken by Colton Acey and given to Tilby.
That zone moving so well, forcing the deep outside contested shot. Did a really nice job.
The pass outside. Waite steps in for the Trojans. If he would have stayed out there, he might have hit that one. It was a little bit long, but
that's right.
That one no good.
Step in.
Again, scoreboard has 11-8. I've got 10 for Morgan, so we'll see if they fix that. Three-pointer in the corner is up and down for the Canyon View Falcons. Jace Farrow.
Farrow, he does a good job out of that corner. He's got a really nice baseline drive to go with that shot. Hard to guard him.
Ball in the high post. Goes to Despain. Despain turnaround jumper is down, up and down for Morgan.
This is good high post catch. Team kept spreading away so he could go one-on-one with his guy.
Chad Hartman now into the high post to Jacobson. Now down to Miles Topham. Little pump fake. That shot's blocked.
Really nice pass from Ludlow to get that down into Topham.
And then Gavin Turner now with the ball for the Trojans. Uses the screen. Gets into the lane. That little runner he likes to do, and uses all parts of the rim to get that one to drop.
That's that 4-out, 1-in Morgan likes to run, and they bring a high screener up to get that action started.
Good quick passing to break the press there for the Falcons, and a shot is good for Jace Farrow. 5 points for him now.
Watch Canyon View as they keep that floor really, really spaced against the trap.
Still there by Ludlow. Saves it in bounds athletically. Nice little pass up the court by Chad Hartman, but not able to finish is Jace Farrow at the end of one. Again, they've got it 16-12. We'll check that here, see if there's maybe a little correction. I see the score books walking over right now. We'll see if they get that corrected to start this second quarter right after this.
Morgan's quickly to work on it.
Hi, I'm Dustin Shakespeare, the Central Region Pathways Coordinator. Do you know what pathways are offered at your high school that connect with Snow College? Students enrolled in career technical education courses can develop valuable real-world technical skills and a strong academic foundation. Over 630 students completed CTE pathways last year in the Central Utah region. Our 35 pathways empower students to explore career options, pursue what they are passionate about, and earn valuable industry certifications. To learn more about these career pathways, talk to your CTE teachers and school counselors today.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on Team Hive. That's teamhive.live, powered by Centricom.
And we welcome you back here on teamhive.live, powered by Centricom. Scoreboard still has 16-12. Well, now they've changed it to 16-11. Canyon View over Morgan. The score books are all convening with that official there at midcourt. Now I've got 14-12. I've got 14 for Canyon View, 12 for Morgan. And now they've got it 14-11. You know what they need to do, Dustin Shakespeare? They need to go about 3 people down there on the broadcast table.
Yes,
there.
They do.
They need to just go to old Brad James.
Father, he would have them lined out.
Yeah, and now they've moved it to 14-14.
Wow. That's bounced all over the place.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've missed 2 for Morgan somewhere, so we'll have to check those stats at halftime for the Brad Father, Brad James, our stat man extraordinaire. But we're going to say 14-14. Both books look happy with that. So start of the second quarter here. Canyon View will start with possession. Farrell will inbounds.
Morgan going to work in that 1-2-2 that they do morph in and out of a 2-1-2.
Ludlow thought about a three-pointer. Now he's going to try and drive. Ball gets tipped away out of bounds off of the Trojans. Ludlow will inbound. Now Jace Farrell will now step in for Canyon View on their baseline.
Great job coming down, building the fence there on the baseline, making it so Ludlow couldn't come through.
Into Hartman. That ball's going to be tipped outside. Good job by Tate Nelson to tip that for the Trojans. Skip pass across the way, and a three-pointer is up and down for Jace Farrow. 8 points for him now off the bench.
He's able to find those gray spots against the zone, get good catch and shoot. Canyon View moving the ball well. And they go to go 2-3 zone. Now, Grantsville did this to Morgan, and it really changed Morgan's ability to score. See if it has an impact.
Tilby with the little ball fake, and he'll rise from the top of the key. That's no good. Tate Nelson with the rebound for Morgan. His putback is no good, but he's fouled. He'll step to the free throw line for 2.
Doing a great job coming from the junction or a little higher to drop down on that offside to get that offside rebound and give him a second chance. Don't have a starter on the floor for Morgan right now.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
All bench.
Cade Johnson into the game as well. We got a 12 Jack Despain in our program. He's a sophomore. Up on the scorebook, they have number 12 as Luke Olson. That number 12 out there looks to me like Luke Olson, but maybe they've switched jerseys or something like that. I don't know. But
I think he does look like Luke Olson as well.
So those free throws are both good for Tate Nelson. 17-16. 1 point lead for Canyon View. Chad Hartman with the ball. Now to Ludlow. Gets it high post. Jacobson. Now outside. Hartman thought about a three-pointer, but passes one more good pass into the corner, and Farrell misses that three-pointer. And a little pass down to the cutting Jace Farrow. He's on the end line. It'll turn the ball back over to the Trojans.
Got the big down inside touch, but they came and just trapped him down on the bottom baseline, made it really hard for him. Nice job by the defense to add some pressure.
So now the perimeter game. Outside Matthews will take a three-pointer for the Trojans. That's no good. Tanner Matthews.
Back there close to the sideline on that one.
Hartman. Pass gets deflected, but Ludlow picks it up and tries to throw it down low. A nice little left-handed pass to Cooper Malcolm. A little bit too hot to handle out of bounds. Trojan ball.
Saw that window and fed it right through. He's getting ready for baseball. I understand he's a heck of a pitcher. So
okay, that looked like it right there.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. That was a nice strike.
Yeah.
So there's that 2-3 out of Canyon View. Last time Morgan able to get an offensive rebound off of their shot. Well, 2 times ago.
Tilby hands it off there to Tanner Matthews. He tries putting up a little runner I think he thought he was fouled, but no foul called, and now a turnover by Canyon View. Good defense there by Tate Nelson of the Trojans.
He's quick, jumps up in those lanes well, gets that catch there on the high post.
Matthews on the right wing, now to Tilby, back to Matthews. Tilby will bring it back to the top of the key.
Working a little overload, but then Olsen, I'm calling him Olsen. He went away from the ball and changed the overload.
If we call number 12 Luke Olson and we're wrong, folks, that's what they've got up on the board up on top. So we're going to go with it.
And please give us, if you have a text also, you can send us, let us know
sure,
if we're wrong.
Or run up here? Tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. We want to get these kids credit.
That's right. Bailey's back in the game.
So Tilby to left side to Tate Nelson. Ball gets tipped around. Trying to save the ball. Might have been a foul there. What are they going to call here?
Yeah, they did give it to him. Rightfully so. You can't go through a guy to save the ball.
Yeah, ball gets tipped, and you see Tate Nelson there just try and kind of block away so it goes out of bounds, and Trenton Ludlow trying to jump over him, and that foul will go against Ludlow, just his first. Eli Bailey gets the ball, free throw line area, out to Tilby. Three-point shot is no good. And Eli Bailey, good hustle to come up with a loose ball rebound. He tries to go up with it, gets knocked out of bounds. It will be Morgan possession.
All right, we take baseline out of bounds here. A little double stack. They'll bring guy over and duck in. Criddle seals down for Bailey on that.
Little 10-foot, 12-foot jumper, so that's no good by Bailey. And then Ludlow, after the rebound, he's fouled from behind. So Trenton Ludlow, just the second team foul against Morgan, only 3 against Canyon View. Quick moving first half here in Cedar City. 17-16, Canyon View with a 1-point lead. Canyon View with possession. Farrow to Ludlow, back to Farrow. Farrow calls for that screen from Jace Whitaker. Gets it down on the block, kicks it back out. Good little pass down to Andrew Barnes. And as he tries to drive, he's going to be fouled on the ground. Third team foul against the Trojans. Baseline inbound for Canyon View.
Going to go 1-4 low with it. See if they cross the bigs. Oh, they're going to pop out and go into the flex screen for Barnes.
There you go, outside. Good little passes. Ludlow, three-pointer up and in.
Great job by Barnes as he got the flex screen and he was open for a catch, but he was definitely not open to be able to score. But Ludlow, they came off of him because they were lifted up guarding the top wing. And so nice job by Barnes to recognize and getting Ludlow that touch.
Good quick passes, yep. Now Morgan. Aiden Harris gets it up to Tilby. Across the way, Matthews. He'll rise for a three-pointer. That's hard, no good. Criddle's able to save it inbound, tipped around. Tilby takes it and taken away by Topham. Good strong. Ooh, got to watch out for that.
Yeah,
I was going to give him credit. I was going to give him credit for the good strong, swing the ball through, but then that was a little much
quit
afterwards.
Doing that part, didn't he?
Yeah. And then the three-pointer is no good by Canyon View, and a rebound by Morgan, and they're going to call a jump ball. Morgan not happy with that call. They thought there should have been a foul behind the Morgan Trojan.
There we've got Tilby. He's going to bring the ball down the floor.
So Derek Tilby now. Halfway through this second quarter here. 4-point lead for Canyon View.
They're passing just a little off. Criddle sealed the middleman on that, and they looped Bailey around, and he was open, but they didn't see him. Canyon View able to get a travel out of that. As Harris going in deep, they tied him up, looking for a jump ball.
Yeah, looked like
came up with a travel.
Looked like it might have been a jump ball there, but the traveling is called. So Canyon View possession. Two-man game working it up the court. Ludlow and Barnes. Now into the corner, back to Ludlow. Barnes top of the key. And Barnes cuts, gets into the lane, kicks it back out for an open three by Trenton Ludlow. That's no good, and Criddle goes up and collects that rebound. Outlet to Derek Tilby. Tilby for the Trojans, now to AC. Working it around the perimeter.
Just running a little bit of a short corner. They've got a high post, and then Bailey's running that short corner area, but the Criddle drops down into the gutter.
AC gets it into the lane, now kicks it back out. Now Eli Bailey's going to take a tough two-pointer that's no good. Criddle goes up and gets that rebound.
He's
back to
fun
Tilby.
watch.
Yeah, reset that shot clock with 3 minutes left. Three-pointer up by Morgan. That's good. Colton AC, his second three-pointer. 8 points for him now.
Nice ball reversal off of the Criddle offensive rebound. They just got it, swung it right around.
Farrow to Barnes, back to Farrow to Ludlow. Looking at that high post. Good quick hands in there by Aiden Harris. Coming the other way is Eli Bailey. Into the lane. Up. Put it in, but a foul's going to be called. Offensive against Eli Bailey. Give the ball back to the Falcons.
Decided Farrell was in enough to
Yeah,
where
that looks pretty good.
go there.
Yep, good job by Jace Farrow to step in there and take the charge.
So we got trap still rolling from Morgan. Canyon View's been able to pass against it quite well.
And they do there. Andrew Barnes. Crossed right side to Farrow. Now Barnes thought about a three. Going to give it to Chad Hartman, who steps out. He'll take the three, top of the key, and knock it down.
Such a good shooter. He's just shooting the ball well.
2 3-pointers for him, 6 points, 23-19. Canyon View, 4-point lead. Criddle at the free throw line area, gets it out to Harris. Now, top of the key, Turner, 3-pointer that's no good. Good strong rebound there by Trey Jacobson. Coming the other way, Canyon View quickly. Hartman, now Barnes. Left wing, now bring it back to the top to Chad Hartman. Double team in front of him, so he moves it to Barnes. Barnes throws it off of Aiden Harris's leg, so it'll be a kicked ball, still Falcon possession.
They running a high-low game with Jacobson top him here against the zone.
It's the ball into the corner, and the defense evacuates, and Farrell will take the opportunity to shoot a three-pointer. It's no good. Quickly coming the other way. AC, Harris, Turner thought about a three, gets it back to Aiden Harris. Gavin Turner picks up his dribble. Eli Bailey tries to drive in. They're going to call a foul on that one.
Barnes jumping in, tying him up.
Canyon View looking for the jump ball there, but they're going to call the foul. It'll be the 4th team foul against Canyon View, 4 against Morgan as well. Again, a pretty clean game so far. This isn't being negative here, Dustin, but just not the energy that you have in a quarterfinal game yesterday for each of these teams. You know, you called that Morgan-Grantsville game a brawl, and it was. 3-point shot is up and in for Colton AC. 11 points now for Colton. But this isn't that. This isn't that
right now. Yep, the intensity's not ratcheted up yet here in the first half.
AC, another good defensive play to knock that ball out of bounds. Canyon View will retain possession.
Hartman doing a good job recognizing he couldn't catch that and throwing it back off of him. That'll suck the defense back down into the half court.
1-point game here, just over a minute left in the first half. Canyon View up 23-22. Ball gets into Trey Jacobson. Now they'll reset it to Chad Hartman, top of the key. He's picked up by Aiden Harris, so they get it down to Jacobson. High post to Topham. Topham tries to go back to Jacobson, and it's taken away by the Trojans. Eli Bailey coming down the court quickly. Gives it to Turner. Now AC. Hot hand. Too hard that time. Harris.
Heat check shot there.
Yeah, Harris with the rebound, though, and gets it to Criddle. Criddle puts it up and in for 2. 4 points, Josh Criddle.
Nice job by Harris seeing Criddle there just away from him. Getting him the ball so he can go to work.
Yeah, great assist there. Into the corner, Farrell. He'll rise for another 3-pointer. Excuse me, that's not Farrell. That's Carson Miles, And shot was no good. And on the rebound, a foul's going to be called against the Falcons. Still no penalty, just the 5th on Canyon View.
Yeah, they gave that one to Jacobson, I believe.
1-point lead for the Morgan Trojans. 26.5 seconds left in this first half. Shot clock off.
They're going to give Topham a break.
Turner will cross the timeline with it. 18 seconds.
Canyon View's going to go man here this last possession.
Stem that defense a little bit, then drop back a little bit softer. 8 seconds to AC. Now Bailey for Morgan. Now back to Turner. Got to do something. 4 seconds. AC coming off the screen. That shot gets blocked. 3-point opportunity. Hartman will take a deep half-court shot right at the buzzer. That's no good. At the end of the first half, Morgan 24. Canyon View 23. Fun game so far, Dustin?
Miles defended that really well. They ran a little curl for 3 for AC, as AC's had the hot hand. But as that, Miles just read through that, stayed tight, didn't get screened off, and able to block that shot. That was really fun to watch him defend that well. And as they went to the man, good call by Coach. Put a little pressure on, make sure that they don't get an easy 3.
There you go. We'll come back with the start. Well, we'll come back, we'll say in about 3 minutes, give you some stats from Brad James, talk about what we saw here in this first half in about 3 minutes here on TeamHive.live. And welcome back on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom. I'm Greg Sterner. To my left is Dustin Shakespeare. 1 point lead for the Morgan Trojans in this consolation bracket game, 24-23. And what's interesting when you look at the stats here, Dustin, it kind of plays out to being a 1 point game. They're very similar shooting percentages. What stands out to you?
I always go to my go-tos. You look at your turnovers, and that's one area. If you're Canyon View, you want to clean up because it's 7-3. Not that 7 turnovers is necessarily all that bad, but when it's first 3, you've given Morgan quite a few more opportunities there. That if you limit that, you can go. But Morgan on the other side, that's what they're trying to do. They're up in a 3-quarter, half-court trap. They're wanting to make you uncomfortable, and so Morgan's been able to feed into that to help strengthen their game to keep it a 1 point game. You look on the other side, your rebounds, just like you said, this tight, 11-12. But Morgan, again, the offensive rebounds really have been good for them, as they've got 2 more of those and 5. 5.5 is a good number offensive rebounding wise. You got a Josh
for a game
Criddle,
or for a half?
Half.
Okay.
Did I say game?
No. You didn't say anything. That's why I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, for a half. Yeah. So you got a Josh Criddle in there, though, and he just is so athletic, creates space, and he can get you a lot of those and does good work.
4 rebounds for Criddle to lead the Trojans. 4 for Miles Topham, the big man for Canyon View.
And then your free throws, you look down there, and neither team getting that many, so they're not – the pressure on the hoop is either they're letting a lot of it go. And so you've got 4 free throws, 3 out of 4 for the Trojans, and 2 for 2 from the Falcons. So your free throw line doesn't tell you much other than what you said to start this part. It's a 1 point game.
Yeah.
It's tight that way. It's not, no one's getting to the line a lot more. It'll be interesting to see how that translates. But the piece that I think that will have an impact is that 3-point line here in the second half, as Canyon View's been able to hit 2 more, as Hartman's been able to hit a couple, but then Farrell's snuck out and got a couple for him. Those 2 for 4, right there at 50%.
Yeah.
And those have been big. And if Morgan adjusts and realizes it's not just Hartman out there, not just Barnes that can shoot it, but Farrell can too, and they slow that, I think that gives them an advantage that they can move towards. If you're Canyon View, you got to make sure you guys are moving to those gray areas against the zone, and they get those catch and shoot opportunities, because Canyon View's obviously got a lot of shooters, and they've got some more on the bench as well.
Yeah, both teams shot quite a few three-pointers, 13 for Canyon View there in that first half, 5 of 13 overall, 3 of 11 for the Trojans. Leading scorers for both teams. You've got for the Falcons with 23 points, 8 points for Jace Farrow, as you mentioned, 2 for 4 from behind the arc for Jace, 11 points for Colton Acey, 3 of 5 from behind the arc. So all the three-pointers for the Trojans in the first half by Colton Acey.
And he had a hot hand. They tried to get him that last look, but Canyon View defended it well. Something that I think we want to watch here coming in the second half is Canyon View's defense. They started man. They went to 2-3, and in games that I've watched for Morgan, it slows their scoring down a lot when they play against a 2-3, and we saw that really kind of happen when they did go there, as Morgan goes into they'll run a little short corner action with a high post. They'll also drop into a 2-1-2, trying to see if they can get ball movement, but the ball sticks a lot high. They don't get those paint touches. They don't get a lot of baseline drives. So see if they can adjust a little bit, or if Canyon View comes in a man and turns them loose, and then they run a 4 out and 1 in with a lot of dribble handoffs, a lot of high ball screens, and they like playing against a man better.
So what are the Falcons? You're down 1. You talked a little bit about what Morgan needs to do. What do you think the Falcons have to do here in the second half?
So a lot of it is taking care of the ball. They've got to make sure as they move the ball. When we've seen them pass the ball up the floor and everybody's running with a purpose, they've been able to convert that into easy baskets. When they've gotten confused, or else they've been a little bit careless, that's what leads to those 7 turnovers that's given Morgan extra shots. So taking care of the ball, and then when they get in the half court against that 1-2-2, how they get, again, paint touches to crunch that zone down and then kick out to their shooters. If they can get that zone to tighten up and not come out, then it gets really hard in that 1-2-2, because Canyon View has so many shooters.
Yeah.
But if Canyon View just plays catch across the top, then those shooters aren't nearly as open, and those are a lot harder shots. So how do they get their shooters great looks? And their bigs need to convert a few just to keep that zone honest.
So we're the consolation bracket here, and I get it that it's not as, it's not as intense as if you're playing in a semifinal trying to go to the finals, but I talk about it a lot. There's 19 teams in 3A that played boys basketball this year, and 6 of them get to play on Saturday. So whether it's the 5th, 6th game, whether it's the 3rd, 4th game, obviously you want to be in the 1st, 2nd, the championship game. But this is important. This is important to kids. Try and play on that Saturday. That's a goal I think any team should have, to play on that last Saturday, and both of these teams are looking to try and get there.
So my take on that is I always wanted to coach my teams to be good character, strong, hardworking young men.
Yeah.
I think basketball for me is one of the funnest places to teach that. With the classroom you can do so much. As a school counselor I could do different things, but on the ball floor they go through really, really hard things. And like we all know, we're going to get punched in the face and have to get up the next morning and go to work.
Yeah.
And you got punched in the face losing that game yesterday.
Yeah.
So how do you figure out how to get up and go to work and then get yourself motivated to do it at a high level?
Yeah.
And I love that second day the losing teams having to play for that reason. It gives these kids an opportunity to go through that, because we all do it every day. It's not something that goes away when you're an adult, but you have to figure out how to go through that and then get to your high level.
Canyon View will start with possession here.
And they go into that 2-1-2 against the
Morgan
zone.
Does, yep.
Well, Canyon View's offense is 2-1-2. Morgan starts a 1-2-2, but they slough a guy down in.
Got it.
And take that high post away.
3-point shot is up and no good for Canyon View, and Trey Jacobson goes up high and wrestles it away from his teammate to get that one and reset the shot clock. Jacobson now corner. Nice little extra pass down there, and the 3-point shot is down for Andrew Barnes. 5 points for Andrew tonight.
Andrew coming across on the baseline, got his feet set, and as Jacobson gets that catch, the zone lifted and looked all at him as Barnes was moving there. Nice teamwork.
Gives the lead back to the Falcons, 26-24. Getting around the perimeter. Now Acey's going to rise for a deep 2-pointer that's no good for Morgan, and Jacobson with another rebound for the Falcons.
We've seen Acey catching and shooting, really doing a lot of good. That time off the dribble a little harder for him, as Turner's going to have a chance here.
Gavin Turner hands to Acey. He puts up a little kind of almost a finger roll down low that's no good, but he will get to the free throw line. Good pass from Gavin Turner.
Scooped really long and wide out on that
kind of had
one.
to, yeah. Gavin Turner, I think he could see Trey Jacobson there just waiting to try and block his shot, and made a business decision to hand that off to Colton Acey. Acey knocks down the first one, gives him 12 points, game high today.
Nice job by him to run with him there instead of sliding off. He's been shooting a lot of threes. Instead of sliding off, trying to shoot a three, kept the defense honest, and they had to foul him if they weren't going to give him a layup.
Knocks down the second one as well. This full court look from Morgan. Hartman's able to break it there.
I had a chance to get over the top of it, just didn't quite see it.
So Andrew Barnes, he'll try penetrating, backs it back out to Chad Hartman. Now the
Criddle
quick
saw
hands
that
of Criddle.
coming all day long.
Yep, he read that, just baited him into it. Turner with that little runner that he loves, as I mentioned in the first half, got it to go. 5 points for Gavin Turner.
Good read by Turner. The defense never changed the direction, so he just kept pushing at it, and he was finally close enough to the basket. Defense hadn't changed his direction.
If you're not the tallest kid on the floor, that little running one-hander can eliminate the height of a defender, and Gavin Turner does it as well as anybody. Now the pass to Barnes. He tries driving, gets cut off on the right block, so he'll back it out to Chad Hartman. 2-point lead for the Morgan Trojans here. Trey Jacobson. Back to Hartman, uses the Jacobson screen. Now Andrew Barnes, 1 second on the shot clock. He's going to rise for a tough three-pointer that's no good, but another good rebound there by Miles Topham. He feels like he's bumped. No foul called, and Acey's going to come the other way. Eli Bailey, little jump stop. Shot's no good, and Canyon View comes down with that one. Barnes, Hartman puts it in for 2.
Kind of odd momentum shifts there as Canyon View, when Topham saved that, nobody comes to get the ball, so it looks like Morgan's going to have some momentum. They come down and just nobody moves. They shoot a hard shot, and all of a sudden Canyon View's in transition again.
Now Bailey takes another tough shot, but he's going to be fouled. They're going to call it a block. Are they saying that's on the shot or right before it? Let's see.
That looked like to me it was on the, yeah, it couldn't go with the shot.
Okay.
I saw the one official pointing to the ground, thought that they were going there, but they're going to give him 2 free throws as Bailey's been attacking the rim really, really hard.
So Eli Bailey from the free throw line. First one good. Eli's first point. He's the leading scorer on the year for the Trojans at 11 points a game for the senior. Breaks the tie. Gives Morgan a 1-point lead.
Good back and forth game.
One more for Eli Bailey here. Second one good as well. Nothing but net. He's going to check out. Coming into the game will be Joe Waite for the Trojans.
Give Bailey just a breather here and a little instruction from coach.
That trap again. Set up by the Trojans. Full court. Again, Hartman's able to break it up to Jacobson. Now to Whitaker and back to Hartman. Jace Farrow into the game for the Falcons. Barnes is going to drive. Nice little baseline drive. Puts it up off the glass and in.
I thought he was going to have to go with the drift pass right there, but then the defense just never came in and closed off the fence as they had pushed him baseline. But it just never happened. Barnes read it really well because it opened up nice for him.
Yeah, just didn't push him quite far enough to the baseline. He's able to get around that.
Yep.
Little give and go from Turner to Criddle. Turner tries to go up, and he's going to be held, so that's going to be a jump ball.
Looks like it'll be Morgan's baseline out of bounds. And they're going to go same deal, double stack. Oh, no, they're going triangle action, so they'll clear out and then open up.
Goes to Waite. He'll rise for a three-pointer that's short, no good. Hartman coming quick. Nice pass up the court to Trey Jacobson, who lays it in for 2. Great pass by Chad Hartman.
And can you put a little denial pressure on by Barnes? Almost led into a 5-second call. AC comes and saves it.
Hands it to Turner to set up the offense. Just about halfway through this third quarter, 2-point Falcon lead. And Waite's going to step back for another three-pointer. That one's no good. Or excuse me, that was Olsen. That was Luke Olsen that time. Kind of got that similar, hair a little bit there.
Yep.
One's a 12, one's a 22. Three-pointers up by Canyon, no good. Hartman skies in to get that rebound from his point guard position.
Canview going and getting the 50-50 balls.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Got out in transition. Making
Pass
a
goes
difference for him.
Down onto the block to Whitaker, and that's going to be tipped in by Trey Jacobson. Trey goes high to just give it a little tip and finish it off. 4 points for Trey Jacobson. 4-point lead for the Canyon View Falcons. Now Aiden Harris down low. He tries to bully his way in, but he's going to back it back out. Colton AC ends up with it in the left corner. Gets it to Olsen. Olsen, inside-out game. Waite, three-pointer, got it to go.
He was working against that man. They got the catch there in the low drop zone. Defense has to slough in if they're not going to give him a layup. And nice job moving his feet and getting him set by Waite.
Jacobson gets it out to Hartman, now for Canyon View. Now Farrow, skip pass across the way to Barnes. Corner, three-pointer is up for Canyon View and down. Good shot there. Who was that? Jace Whitaker that got that one? That is.
I was watching the defense move, and the defense pulled all the way over across the lane, and so that ball reversal hung in the corner. Really hard to make up that much ground when you commit that far over to the ball.
Turner with the ball now. Goes down to Olsen. He tries to turn around. Tries to put up a shot. Good, strong defense straight up by Trey Jacobson.
Yeah, he walled up really well. Took his space away and managed it.
Corner. Another three up for Canyon View that's no good, and Gavin Turner skies in to clear that ball.
Canyon View right now really liking the corner. Doing a good job of taking advantage of moving those bottom guys a little more than they want to be.
Turner now to Harris. Olsen gets into the lane and ball gets tipped away. Good quick hands by Jace Whitaker to take that one away from Luke Olsen.
Canyon View getting a little momentum here. See if they can stretch this lead out.
4-point lead, under 2 minutes left here in this third quarter. Hartman, corner. Farrell will try driving. Ball gets tipped. Andrew Barnes back to Farrell. He'll rise for another three-pointer that's short. Strong rebound from Joe Waite of the Trojans.
Big defensive possession right there by the Trojans to make sure they held them to one and done.
Wait will rise for another three-pointer, knocks down a second one. 6 points for him, 2 3-pointers this quarter.
And that's those transition threes just early, and they let them fly.
Chad Hartman picks up his dribble. Now gets it to Jacobson. I think Jacobson was surprised how open he was. Athletic shot there, close to the rim, and got it to go.
Yeah, the defense on the bottom of that zone is being stretched, and they're late to come in. Canyon View's taking advantage of it. Inside and out.
Aiden Harris uses the screen. He's going to put up a tough shot off the glass. That's no good, but Olsen comes down with the rebound, and Luke puts it in for his 4th points.
He does a good job to get Harris that opportunity to go down and then followed him down for that offside rebound. It's good to stay working.
Ball goes into the corner now. Across the way, Barnes will rise for a deep three-pointer and got it for the Falcons.
They collapse the zone to the right side and then get the skip over to the left corner. It's been something that Canyon View's found here in the second or third quarter and really taken advantage of to be able to hold this 4-point lead.
Andrew Barnes with a team-high 10 points for the Falcons. 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. Shot clock is off. Gavin Turner, yo-yo dribble up top. Now he gives it to Luke Olsen. Joe Waite rises for about a 10, 12-footer. That's no good. Canyon View will have one more shot. 3 seconds. Barnes, deep three. Just about got that one to go at the end of the third quarter. Your score, Canyon View 42, Morgan 38. We'll be back with the start of the fourth right after this on TeamHive.live.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, we make it happen for you.
Auto Farm Price Ford has your next truck at the guaranteed lowest price. Auto Farm will not be undersold. The time to buy is now. Auto Farm has a huge selection. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned Ford F-Series, including the unbeatable F-150, no one has more than Auto Farm. Find more great offers and all their inventory online at PriceFordSales.com.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, we make it happen for you.
And welcome back here on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom. Start of the fourth quarter, Canyon View 42, Morgan 38. 4-point lead here for the Falcons. And it was at the end of at halftime, it was 24-23, Morgan with the lead. So a 5-point difference there for Canyon View in the third quarter, Dustin.
They found a way to overload the zone, bring it all the way over to the right side, and then use the skip to get those corner threes going for them. As a big adjustment. Morgan here, they're going to have to make an adjustment if they're going to change the way they guard that or completely change their defense as they got them going. And then they were to add to it to make it compound it. Then they were able to do the same and get some touches on the inside. So then that makes that zone have to really change. They've got a little different lineup coming, it looks like, getting Josh Criddle back in the game. And then got
Tilby.
23.
Yeah, Derek Tilby. Well, for Morgan, Derek Tilby into the game as well.
And then Cade Johnson.
Okay, Canyon View starts with possession here. Down to Topham. Tries to put that one up over the front rim, and that's no good. Coming the other way is Aiden Harris for the Trojans. Kind of ahead of steam there. Ball gets tipped around. There was 2 Trojans there. Neither of them knew who it was supposed to be to, and Canyon View just takes it away.
Good heads up by Canyon View to go get it. Morgan's going to go man now.
Chad Hartman uses the Topham screen. They get the switch, but they don't go to him. Andrew Barnes, tricky little dribble there, gives it back to Topham, who hands it off to Farrow. He's cut off by Criddle, and they're going to say a foul is going to go against Josh Criddle.
Using these dribble handoffs to create some different screening opportunities to try to get the ball going downhill. Morgan so far able to defend him quite well.
Aiden Harris will come out of the game for the Trojans. Tate Nelson, the speedster, in.
Yeah, they get a little faster when you got Tilby and Nelson on the floor.
Andrew Barnes hand off to Hartman. A little roll down the court to Topham. Topham's able to get it to go. Miles Topham with 4 points now.
They used that handoff and saw the switch. Great job by Topham to recognize that switch as he had such a size advantage.
6-point lead now for Canyon View. Trojans try to go down low on the the right block to Criddle. Going to be a foul off the ball against Canyon View.
Tilby was down trying to set a mid-paint screen and Topham wasn't interested in it, and they got in a little forearm shiver match, and that's an explosion play, I call it. You explode all the way out and then decide to come in. When you've got the speed of Tilby, that can be a really nice play, and they caught Canyon View sleeping there.
And Tilby was able to get the layup there. 2 guys with broken ankles there each side. Joe Waite's able to stand in front of a pass. He goes down, left hand, lays it in for 2 for Waite.
Real nice, strong finish. Gathered himself up. As he was moving down the floor, he wondered how he would come about it. But he got himself gathered and just had to take on Barnes with the size advantage. Used it well.
Quick little 4-0 run for the Trojans. Cuts that 6-point lead down to 2. Farrow uses the screen. Gets into the lane. Holds that pivot foot. Now gets it back to Barnes. He's picked up by Tate Nelson.
Got a mismatch down below with Tilby and Whitaker. They're trying to find.
Yeah, Tilby does a good job of just fronting and not allowing that pass to come in. So now Farrow's going to drive. That shot is around the rim and no good. And a good strong rebound there by Cade Johnson.
The shift of man's put the screws to Canyon View's offense and slowed him way down.
Josh Criddle now into the corner to Johnson. Cade will dribble out of the corner. Tries to get it to Criddle on that right block. He does able to get it there. Criddle gets through, passes out to Tilby for a 3-point shot. Got it to go. 7-0 run for the Trojans. Gives them a 1-point lead. You're going to have a timeout called by Coach Blackner of Canyon View. We'll take it with him. Be back in 1 minute.
Little defensive change.
Since 1947, Emory Telecom knows reliable internet is more important than ever. It lets us work from home, share life with family and friends, and make vital connections online. To help, qualifying customers can now access the new Affordable Connectivity Program and step up to fast, reliable e-fiber internet at a savings of up to $30 per month. Learn more about this new opportunity. Visit acpbenefit.org today. Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
7-0 run here by the Morgan Trojans. Gets them a 1-point lead over Canyon View. You talked about it, a little bit of change defensively has spurred this run for them.
Yeah,
Morgan.
They bring in, like we talked about, the speed, and then they went man and getting Criddle back on the floor. And once they made that adjustment, Canyon View hasn't been able to score. Morgan's held them to one and done, turned them over, and then they've executed very well down inside, moving the ball. And then Tilby able to get open there in that last corner to hit that 3 to stretch it up to 1 to 2 points.
Really an extra pass from Criddle.
Yeah,
it looked like Criddle might have had a decent look at 2, but decided to get that pass out to the corner, and it was worth 3.
Help off from Tilby, and
worth 3 instead of 2.
You love a big that'll kick out like that.
3-point shot up by Farrow that's no good. I think he thought he got bumped there. No foul called, and it'll be out of bounds. Morgan ball.
A lot of times big will get down in there, and they get so wound up about scoring that when they draw that double and that help off, they just keep it and try to go back up. But Criddle showing his unselfishness, kicking that out.
Now Tilby will hand to Criddle. Gives it to Nelson. He turns the corner quickly. A reset back to Tilby. Tilby will rise for a top-of-the-key 3-pointer. That one's no good. Straight out of bounds, and give the ball back to Canyon View.
Running that 4-out 1 in with Criddle up high. He gets catches, and they just run off of him trying to get space. Tilby thought he had gotten enough, but didn't quite have his feet under him.
Jace Farrow initiate offense now at the free throw line area. Chad Hartman, little ball fake. Now he's going to try and go up, and they're going to call a jump ball. Josh Criddle got his hands in there.
He did a great job getting low and digging in and tying that up.
Creates a turnover back to Morgan.
Kennedy's going to put a little pressure on it. It's 2-2-1. Yep, that's what it'll be.
Tilby races across midcourt. Corner, Joe Waite looking for another 3-pointer. Got it to go. His 3rd today. 11 points for Joe.
Just ran over the top of that 2-2-1, using a pass side, and then skip for three. We ran through a screen right there, I do believe.
Yeah, it looked like Morgan's going to be called off the ball there. Yeah, that's just, you called it right. Tilby just ran through that Ludlow screen.
He goes hard. He'll learn how to direct that energy a little bit more and not run through those. Ludlow did a good job of helping draw attention to it.
Got some off-ball screens there in the lane. Gets into the corner to Farrow. Now Jacobson tries to drive. He goes block-to-block pass there to Topham, who goes up on Criddle and got it to go.
That was a really nice catch out of Topham as that ball came around wrapping to him. A little tight and hard, but did a good job gathering that one up.
Tate Nelson now for Morgan in the left corner. Gets it to Criddle. Cutting Tilby off the glass. Got it to go. Another good assist to Josh Criddle.
They move off of Criddle when he gets that catch anywhere. Just blocks. The movement's not the same at the high post, but anywhere below the high post, they move well off of him.
Ball gets tipped around. They're going to call,
looks like a timeout.
Timeout, or are they saying it's going to be out of bounds right there?
Yeah,
a foul's going to go against Morgan.
Okay. It was hard to read what was going on there. There's a lot of action in between. Barnes is going to come back in the game. Tilby's going to go rest and let Turner back in. Ludlow's going to take a break as well.
Andrew Barnes will inbound right in front of his own bench. They go down on the block to Topham. It's defended by Criddle. Tries to create a little space. He's able to. Got that one to go.
He's got a little movement going. It's over the front of the rim from the left block. He's been able to get those finishes.
Cuts that 4-point lead down to 2. 50-48, Morgan with the lead. Tate Nelson, a little stutter step. He tries to shoot. Gets hacked across the arm. He's going to step to the free throw line.
Came on the curl weight, kind of gave a little bit of a, that wasn't right. So he just did it on his own. He curled off the top there and worked his way down in, using everything he could to get down in the paint.
First of two is short, no good. Still a 2-point lead for the Trojans. One more now for Tate Nelson. Second free throw. That one's good. Tate now with 3 points. Timeout's going to be called here by Morgan. We'll take it with them. Quick moving game here. 3:08 left in this one. 51-48. Morgan with the lead. We'll be right back.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's two 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Back on TeamHive.live at the America First Event Center at SUU in Cedar City. 51-48, Morgan with the 3-point lead over the Canyon View Falcons. 3:08 left in this one. I'm Greg Sterner, Dustin Shakespeare to my left, and it's been a fun fourth quarter.
Canyon View struggled against the man early, but they found something with Topham, getting him catches there on the left block against the man, letting him go to work.
Canyon View possession here out of that Morgan called timeout. Left wing, now Andrew Barnes. Little step back, thought about a three. Good defense there by Tate Nelson to make him change his mind. Now Chad Hartman will drive. Little Euro step, left hand, glass, got it to go.
Really pretty finish. They're face guarding Barnes so tight that no help could come and help change that drive at all.
Criddle, free throw line area. Out of the elbow, outside. Joe Waite. Kids hit 3 threes today, has Waite off the bench. They'll reset it to Gavin Turner. Turner thinks about trying to go downhill. He's going to pass it out to Ace instead. Now Waite. Crossover dribble into the lane. Step back. He'll take a free throw line jumper that's no good. Rebound, Chad Hartman coming the other way. Hartman will back out that right-hand dribble. Just over 2 minutes left in this one.
Hartman. Got a mismatch with Topham and Turner right here. They
yeah,
don't find it.
Crossover dribble and step back. Little 10-footer is no good by Hartman.
Criddle doing a good job of just making it hard on him and making him go all the way back to make that short.
Had to fall away on that one.
Took his space away with his size advantage and length.
Minute 53 left in this one. Coach Matthews will call another timeout. It's a full timeout. We'll take just 30 seconds and be back right after this.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. Bookmark TeamHive.live, Utah's new home for streaming high school sports and other events. Powered by Centricom Local 10.
Glad you're joining us here on TeamHive.live for this 3A state tournament all weekend here, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. All the games on TeamHive.live, no matter where you're from. You can catch these broadcasts. Glad you're joining us. Greg Sterner and Dustin Shakespeare, 1-point lead for Morgan.
Fun ball game. Had some good adjustments. We just saw a mismatch taking place. They were able to get enough stop. Morgan was. They wanted to make sure they get something out of this possession here. See if Canyon View does something different. It looks like they'll stick with their man. And sideline out of bounds. Morgan's got a couple good sideline out of bounds they like to run.
Get a screen, looking at that corner. Now they're going to have the screen at the top of the key, and Joe Waite will step up and take it. 25 seconds left on this shot clock. 1:50 on the game clock here in the fourth quarter. Turner now to Waite, left wing, into the corner to Aiden Harris. Harris back to Turner. Crossover dribble, gets into the lane. Kicks it to Harris. Pretty good defense here by Canyon View. Now they're going to call a foul on the shot. No, they'll call a traveling first.
His feet kind of moved in a different way, and then he went with the pass. You can see on that replay. Oh, and not the pass. He did make a shot attempt, but guess they didn't like the way those feet were bouncing around.
Pivot, yeah. Under 90 seconds left now in this one. Hartman.
Fun one with a 1-point game.
Hartman on the right side. He'll reset back at the top of the key. Quick hands by Criddle. Knocks it away, and Hartman's able to track it down right on that sideline. Gets it down to Topham. Outside Barnes. Barnes, little spin move in the lane. Uses the glass. Doesn't go. Good strong rebound by Josh Criddle. How many times have we said that the last 2 days?
It's been busy. I like the scramble out. Morgan, it looked like they were going to get out of shape, but they scrambled out, cleaned it up, and were able to defend well there.
Now Turner's able to get into the lane. He picks up the dribble. Coach Matthews is going to call another timeout here. I think he just kind of saw that Gavin Turner was kind of lost there in the lane. And
nobody was moving with him either, and that's, you can't just stand and watch it. That's what they were doing, so he got it. And then also they've got some nice baseline out of bounds, so they just made sure that's where the ball was going to be coming out of. So that gives them opportunity to run, see if they can extend this out to a long one possession, get a nice little 2-point shot, or they can get it to 2 possessions with a 3 if they can get there. And we've seen them hit them. It's been part of, they've hit a lot of them today. A lot of their points have come from there.
Joe Waite, Colton Acey, Derek Tilby's hit one, so yeah.
And both coaches, they've got, we got 2 timeouts from Oregon. You've got 4 for Canyon View, so they can save possessions as they need to, dial things up, see how they want to go about this.
With only 4 team fouls on Canyon View and 3 on Morgan, it kind of becomes a little bit of a, if you're down and there's 15 seconds left and you're down 1 and you've only got 3 team fouls, you got to get some fouls in there pretty quick, and that can be a little bit of a strategy too.
So on this possession, that would be a conversation, is go for the ball. Don't be blatant. Don't show that you're fouling. We're not trying to foul, but just go for everything. Go for broke on getting the ball out of their hands as soon as it's inbound. If we get a foul, it's not a big deal. Just don't foul them on the shot.
But if we get a steal, it's great.
That's exactly right. And a lot of times you can catch them off guard right here because you don't care if you get a foul, but you just really, really want the ball.
Yeah.
So it looks like Morgan, they're going to bring AC out to the 3 here, and then they're going to pop Waite down off the side for that little short corner.
That's knocked off of Joe Waite. Good quick hands by Trey Jacobson to knock it off of him, give the ball back to the Canyon View Falcons.
And he's able to slap down on the ball, not have to worry about whether it's going to be called anything or not. So you can go for it'd be a really quick 2-for-1 here if you're Canyon View.
Yeah, with just 45 seconds and 30 on the shot clock, you'd have to go really quick. And Hartman thought about going quick. Ball gets tipped around. They're going to call a foul on the perimeter on the Trojans.
Interesting is it's time's counting down. They got their hands down in the lanes a little bit. Decided that was enough. So Canview going to show us some of their magic from the baseline. See if they can take the lead here.
Got those two in the corners here. We're going to inbound it up top to Barnes. Calls for that Jacobson screen. Now a deep skip pass to Farrow, and they gets it back to Chad Hartman to reset here.
And the shot clock really doesn't mean anything now.
Now it doesn't. Yep. Andrew Barnes, he's going to drive into the lane. Nice little dump off to Topham, who puts it off the glass. That one doesn't go. Topham gets his own rebound. He tries to pass it down low. Tipped around. Morgan comes down with it. And you're going to have a timeout called by Coach Matthews. Wow.
As soon as Harris started diving, Coach Matthews was up off the bench and calling that timeout. Did an excellent job on identifying what was going on to save that possession by Morgan. So well done by him. And then the ball got a little bit looser after that, and that's where Canview, they weren't real proud of the timeout, but Coach Matthews, good alert, way to save that possession for the Trojans.
Aiden Harris, he hasn't scored today, but he's done a lot of good things for the Trojans today, and right there jumping on that ball and saving that possession for the Trojans. So they're going to have to be fouled here with 17.2 seconds left.
So I would look for a trap early.
Sure, okay.
So you've got 17 seconds. You've got plenty of time. You don't have to foul.
But you've only got 14 fouls, too, is the tough thing there.
And so the same thing comes to apply, is get a hard trap and just rip it out of their arms. And if you get a foul, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's not a big deal, and you can actually use that to a big advantage if you're talking about it, if you're aware, if you've practiced those type of situations where you do have fouls to give. And so yeah, but foul while you're stealing the ball. Don't do this touching and wrapping around stuff. Go.
Yeah, you're trying to get a steal here. Sure.
And so try to push the ball somewhere where you can get a double team. You got a ton of time. 17 seconds in a one-point game. All you need is a turnover, and you've got it there. Now, if it gets closer and you haven't started fouling, it gets closer after the first pass, then you're going to have to be a little more blatant about your foul, like you said.
Tilby comes into the game for the Trojans, that ball handling that they want. A couple of screens on the line there, and you saw that hold as Gavin Turner was trying to come off of that sideline line here. Tries to set a screen, and you can just see he's just being held there as he's trying to break away.
So good job getting that caught. So they're going to send Bailey out and away to create a little bit more space. Ludlow's off the ball, looks like as of right now, just kind of playing a rover position. And so Coach Matthews wanted a little more space and then sent AC down and away as well.
Now they're going to get it into Tilby. He's going to be fouled, and that's one that Canyon View wanted because that would have went off of Tilby's leg when they slapped that ball. But a foul's going to be called before.
Right there.
Yeah, that would have been Canyon View possession on the baseline.
Yep, did a good job of whacking it off his knee. They're going to bring Ellett in here. Looks like for Barnes.
So now there's 16 fouls on Canyon View. They've only let 0.8 of a second run off the clock. So they did a good job. If they're not going to get the foul and they need to, or if they're not going to get the steal and they need to foul, it didn't take them 10 seconds to get that.
Yep, they're right there at that 1-and-1 now. So they managed that and got to the free throw line well, and that was the strategy they went for.
Did they call a flagrant? Did they call an intentional foul there?
I wasn't watching the officials.
The Morgan fans got really excited.
Yeah, they were doing some cheering. No, they're putting them up on the line.
Yeah, so they're lining up, so it must not be. Okay.
But you can see Canyon View, kind of like we were talking about, a couple different strategy ideas. They went for getting them to the free throw line as fast as they could, and really only in 2 seconds they got all those fouls.
Yeah. So 15.6 seconds, 1 point lead for Morgan. Timeout called by Coach Blackner of the Falcons. We'll take it with him. Be right back.
It's just a 30.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Two or one, doesn't matter.
Yeah, here we go, 51-50, 15.6 seconds. Glad you're joining us here on TeamHive.live.
Like the timeout right there by Canview, giving Tilby just a little more time to think about his free throws as he can push this up to a 2 or 3 point lead, depending on if he can get him to fall through. And then you're discussing in that timeout, if you're Morgan, how you're going to defend, because it's only going to be a one-possession game no matter what with 15 seconds if you can't get this offensive rebound if he misses.
Tilby's first free throw is good.
So that puts it to where at least you're not going to lose on a 2-point field goal. So if you're Canview, what kind of field goal you're going to look for as Tilby makes that
Second one good as well. You saw Derek had a little bit of a smile on his face there. I mean, he wanted that little bit of pressure.
Yep, he likes that and works towards it. And Canview, they want a timeout right here as they're going to discuss what type of shot they want. Now, that's going to allow Morgan to discuss how they want to defend. A lot of different ways you go about this. Some folks get super aggressive and deny the inbounds and go man to man. Some put a little token pressure on, staying in that man so you move through, and then some will go into a trap or even a half-court zone.
Well, something to think about here too is you got 2 fouls to give if you're the Trojans. So if a guy for Canyon View gets a little bit of a step on you and may have an easy look at the bucket before he shoots it,
so then you can
grab
be a
his
little bit
arm,
more
make him set it up.
Yeah. Be a little
or
more aggressive on how you want to defend it.
Yeah, or try and get a steal there as well. Just kind of the opposite of what Canyon View had to do, but. Again, where if you get a foul called, okay, that's all right.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
The other thing is you've got a 3-point lead. So do you foul when it's under a certain time? Is that your philosophy?
Yep.
Do you like to do that? I always liked it under 7 seconds. If you can get it under 7 seconds and put them to the free throw line, then I feel like your percentages are really high on closing the game out.
Well, and something else to go with that is you've got so much height if you're Morgan. So you get Criddle in there, you get Wade or Olsen in there. You're probably not going to give up an offensive rebound on a missed free throw. So.
Yep, that's for sure. And so a lot of fun strategy pieces of this game here, how you want to play it. See how Morgan's going to go man.
Yeah, none of those tall guys for the Trojans are in right now. It's a much shorter lineup. Really, Eli Bailey is your big guy.
Yep,
guarding
Topham there.
So Hartman, he's going to be fouled by Turner. Unless you just want to put him at the line like you were saying.
It seems like that's probably where Morgan's heading, the way that he fouled there.
But wouldn't you try and maybe go for a steal first?
Absolutely,
Not just
let the clock get down a little further.
Yeah, right, make them run a little bit.
And not just send it right back. They're going to put Miles in here for Topham. He hit that big shot. When was it? In the end of the second quarter, maybe? Oh, now we've got Whitaker going to come in for
Topham's just Topham and Jacobson have played so well down low. Unless this is a free throw game type thing where
they stretch Miles out to that left corner.
And no foul called.
A little switch there. Turner switches and Barnes.
Now Barnes is going to be fouled, and that's just going to be the 6th.
And so
7 seconds. So now the question, like Dustin Shakespeare was saying, do you foul on purpose?
Yep. Do they want to put him in the line? Because now that puts the time down. Canview, they're going to talk about it here.
Yeah, they're going to take, Coach Blackner's going to take a timeout. Let's take it with them. We'll take a full timeout. Be back in 1 minute.
Zions Bank proudly supports our local communities and schools. We've been providing families and businesses with banking tools and stellar service for nearly 150 years. For helping you achieve your financial goals, Zions Bank is for you.
The living room. It's a great place to watch TV. Just like your backyard, break time at the office, or while on the go. Now you can watch TV everywhere. Call or visit Centricom.com to learn more.
We want your vehicles. At JN Auto, we are ready to buy. Cars, trucks, SUVs, with 2 convenient locations in Huntington and Price. Your selling solutions just got easier. Buy, sell, or trade with JN Auto. Driven forward, driven for you.
Back in now.
7 seconds left in this one. 53-50. Morgan with a 3-point lead in this consolation bracket game.
The Horn, they want to have a discussion on something.
There's something. They keep running that horn. So now they get a thumbs up. Canyon View's going to inbound on the sideline. Jace Whitaker.
Well, sideline out of bounds. Got a box set. A little elevator. They guarded it really well.
Got it into Barnes. Picked up by Turner, and Turner's going to foul him after about a second runs off. 5.8 left. So Barnes is going to have 1-1 now.
And that was Morgan's strategy from the start. You could see they fouled and they wanted to get him at that free throw line with that 3-point lead under 7 seconds. And so they did it. It is a 6-second game, so it's a touch longer than you'd love. But now Canyon View is going to sub out and put
bring Topham back in. Cooper Malcolm in the game. Now, kind of your worst case scenario if you're Canyon View, if you make both of them, you still got time to foul Morgan on an inbound. With, you'd still have maybe 4 seconds left.
You got Farrow up here that looks like he's going to sprint in. No, he knows the rules. So.
First one is no good, and Criddle goes up and gets it. He's going to be fouled, just like we talked about. You put your big guys down low if you're Morgan. Criddle goes up and gets it. If he hits one of these, that'll be the ball game.
It stretches it to that 2 possession, but if he misses one, you're at 4.4 seconds left now, and that's where I was discussing I like it to be a little bit further under 7 with that catch instead of being sitting right there 6, because instead you'd be at 3.4 seconds.
Well, and you can get a good shot in 4.5 seconds. 4.5,
you can go the full length of floor on the dribble with these guys easily. That's very well done. So
1-1
throw
here
becomes big.
1-1 here for Josh Criddle. First one, no good. Rebound, Eli Bailey for Morgan. He's going to be fouled. Another 2.5 runs off. 2.8 now. That
gets a lot harder.
What's what you needed if you're Canyon View. So you needed him to miss that, and he did, and you just didn't get it.
Gather it up. So now with 2.8 to get a rebound and switch direction and get down the floor, that becomes really, really hard. In the situation, I get Josh Criddle off so that there's no foul opportunity and get my guys set back up in defense. And it looks like Canyon View's going to discuss what this looks like to them. But
just a 30. You can keep going here, Dustin.
So I like to get them off the line, get them set up, whatever you do. If you're zone, trap, man, half, whatever you do. But get them off, get them set, and so they know what they're going to do if Canyon View gets this rebound. Because with 2.8, the only way they're going to get a good shot is if off of a pass. And so that means people are going to be half off the line. So it becomes really hard off the miss to be able to tie this game up. And so you never ask a guy to miss a free throw because if they put it to 2 possessions, it's clear over. But if he does miss it, you don't know that you care unless you leave guys on the line and they foul, and that extends the game out to something a little goofy. So
yeah, I would be shocked if they have anybody on the, and they are going to put Criddle up on the line
there. Wow. And then everybody's up. So see what Canyon View see. Canyon View right here. There he is. So Farrell's hiding in the corner over here. He's got his face turned toward the bleacher.
Oh yeah.
And Morgan hasn't seen him just yet. So
yeah,
they
Morgan
could catch this and throw that down there.
Okay,
Harris is coming back. So there he's found him there.
He did a good job selling that. Free throw is good by Eli Bailey. 3rd point for him, all from the free throw line. Extends that lead to 4. Pretty much puts it away here.
Yeah, you push that into that 2-possession game, and there's just not a lot you can do.
Yeah.
As Bailey, he can get him another free throw to go in and let Canyon View throw a full-length pass.
Second one is no good. Jacobson comes down with the rebound, gets it up to Barnes. Half-court shot is up, and it looked pretty good. Final score, Morgan 54, Canyon View 50. Canyon View will be done for this weekend. Morgan will move on to play the winner of this next game, which is Emory and Richfield for the Consolation 5th, 6th championship, or 5th, 6th place game to try and take 5th place.
Yeah, your Consolation championship on that. The other side, be one of the 3 teams to win on the last day.
There you go, 54-50. Morgan with the big victory. They'll play again tomorrow. We're going to wrap this one up. We'll have a pregame show coming up on TeamHive.live for this Richfield versus Emory game. Tanner Wilkinson and Rick Robinson on that call. For Dustin Shakespeare, sure appreciate you, Dustin, all weekend. It's fun calling games with you, my man.
I enjoy it.
See the game like not many do, so it's fun. Anyway, I'm Greg Sterner. We'll wrap this up. Thanks to Adam Coombs, our producer, and the cameraman here. We'll wrap this one up on TeamHive.live. 54-50, Morgan with the victory.